Night Blitz is sponsored by Hardee's, Don Hudson Insurance, McAdoo's, Wicked Diesel, the law offices of Chris White, and the U.S. Army.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Farrell, hoping your day is wonderful and blessed. We're now at the start of our 8th season of the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. We had an exciting game of the week. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's go out to Bogle Stadium. In an offensive explosion, William Fleming Colonels taking on the Hidden Valley Titans on the opening kickoff. How about Kamari Steelman? He was the man down the sideline. You got one right there. Takes it to the house. That's a touchdown. And already Fleming was up 7-0, but the Colonels would do it one more again. How about the MC, as in Malachi Coleman? He is going to run his way to the end zone, breaking off some tackles. He is gone. The Syracuse commit squeezes his way into the zone. It's now 14-0 Fleming. But then Hidden Valley would struggle a little bit on offense right here. Brendan Rose going to drop back, and he's going to try to make a play. He's going to get some haterade interception. Qasim Hassan Jackson. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty. Reservation for 6 in the zone. 21-0 in favor of William Fleming. And the Colonels, they go on to beat Hidden Valley tonight, 90-0. Staying in the Roanoke Valley, the only other game in the Valley over at Patriot Stadium. Patrick Henry taking on the Brookville Bees. Dr. Mark Lindenberg returning to the Brookville head coaching sideline. We are already in the second quarter, 21-0 PH. A bad step by Brookville. Patriots' DeAndre Robinson scoops up the loose ball and gets it in play. A couple plays later, PH at the 2 of the Bees, and it's Seth Shepard, S squared. Get you one in the touchdown, 28-0 Patrick Henry. To the third quarter, the ball for PH would be getting a little bit of defense. Elvis is in the building, as in Elvis Yende with the pick, dribbling it off, making some moves down the sideline. Ones making it down there. That would set up this play here. How about Damarion Purdue? Touchdown PH. Running it hard in there, 35-0 at this point. And the Bees, they get the victory, or lose, all right, PH gets to win over the Bees, 42-0. On to Dinwiddie. George Washington Eagles visiting the Dinwiddie Generals. Pick things up. Dinwiddie already up 21-0, but Jaden Glenn finds some daylight, gets him down the sideline. GW would cut the lead to 21-7, but Dinwiddie would have an answer. Quarterback Harry Dalton's going to hook up with Zion Bosiu. 46 yards later, the Generals would find glory in the zone. Touchdown. The Generals are up 27-7. After a defensive stop, Glenn is going to do something nice here, going to the air and make a move. He's going to make the cuts. The bigger the cuts, the bigger the rhymes. He's going to make it all the way down, and he's going to get close to a touchdown. He gets knocked out of bounds before he would get in. But a couple of plays later, Nehemiah Cabell, he's going to hook up with Jeremiah Saunders. Moving around, gets it in there, and that's going to be a touchdown. And Dinwiddie defeats George Washington 55-21. Coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz with all your action, we go to the Hill City for highlights of Heritage and Albemarle. And the big one, the Selma Spartans visiting the defending Class 3 champs in the Liberty Christian Bulldogs. Stick and stay, please.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Band of the Week. And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Unsung Hero, sponsored by the law offices of Chris White.
Well, this week's unsung hero is Andre Levacy. He is a member of the Western Virginia Football Officials Association. Levacy has put on the stripes and blown his whistle for the past 35 years officiating football, basketball, and baseball games. He says enjoying sports, he loves that, the competition, the camaraderie of the guys that he officiates with. Levacy has another mission to get more officials on the field with the lack of officials throughout the area and the nation. If you're interested in being an official in the area, reach out to the Western Virginia Football Officials Association. Well, welcome back, everybody. Good peeps to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. We appreciate your viewership. We're off to Lynchburg, where a big-time matchup took place at Liberty Christian. The defending Class 3 champs in the Bulldogs, they're hosting the Class 4 finalists from last season in the Spartans of Salem. Now, in the team's first ever meeting last year in the opener at Salem Stadium, LCA won a close one, 21-14. So we go to the third quarter. LCA with a 20-7 lead in this ball game. And then Salem would get something going here. How about Josiah Persinger in the red zone, gets it in there, cutting the Bulldogs' lead to 20-14. But LCA would respond in the form of TJ. That's Tyler Jackson finding Jackson Damon from 20 yards out. The Bulldogs would get the lead 26-14. Of course, LCA would go for two, and it's going to be Gideon Davidson who eventually is going to bulldoze his way in for the two-pointer. LCA is now up 28-14. To the fourth quarter, the Clemson commit is just going to show why Clemson wants him, breaking through that tough Salem defense. That's a touchdown with the extra point, and LCA goes on to beat Salem tonight by the score of 35-21. Let's go up to Penn Laird up in Rockingham County. Rustburg Red Devil, or actually, I'm sorry, Albemarle taking on Heritage. We'll get to that second. That was 4 miles away, by the way. Heritage with the ball, trying to get something going, but the Patriots' Cameron Wilford able to pop the ball loose. Josh Likens comes up with the recovery, but the drive would go nowhere. He picked things up second quarter. Patriots with the ball of Albemarle, but they are going to cough it up again, and this time Heritage would recover a few plays later. How about Aiden Slash? I love the name, finds TC Tavion Clark on the outside for the score. Pioneers with a 7-0 lead. The Patriots trying to pick up where they left off, and LaDonte Chapman is just going to get in a little trouble. He's going to get picked off by Braylon Horsley for the turnover. But then the Pioneers would march down the field. They get into the red zone, and it's going to be Zaid Holloway. He's going to take the rock, and he knows what to do with it. Get it in, gets it in for that touchdown, 13-0. Heritage, however, would go for two after they score that touchdown, and it's going to be Aiden Slash, the QB. He's going to put it in there, and the Pioneers, they go on and get the win over Albemarle tonight, 36-7. Let's go up to Penn Laird. I mentioned it earlier. Rockingham County, Rustburg Red Devils hosting the Spotswood Trailblazers. And Penn Laird, the reigning Valley District champs there. The Red Devils leading 14-0 at recess on the opening possession of the third quarter. The Rustburg Red Devils would have a little trouble here on that play. It gets picked off, and Jackson Grave, the senior, takes the ball to the 43-yard line, but Spotswood would not convert. The ensuing Rustburg possession, Hardee throwing the screen to Marshawn Rosser. He stumbles, but still gets two guys to miss him. Rolling to the outside, the Red Devils take a 21-0 lead, and they would go on and hold on and get the win tonight over Spotswood, 21-6. How about James River going up to play Buffalo Gap? The Bison's up there. Bison starting off hot as junior Isaac Goff. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to run this one into the outside from 8 yards out. The Bison with a 6-0 lead, but later on the Bisons still rolling on a fumbled snap. The Knights take over at the 6-yard line. They walk away with a field goal, but in the end, it's going to be Buffalo Gap winning over James River by the score of, there it is right there, the score. We could get it up there, but yeah, I think it was 25-3. Yeah, no, actually 41-3, Buffalo Gap defeating James River. Coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, guess what we're going to have? We're going to have the game of the week as we talk about EC Glass and Lord Bottop, plus we go into Southwest Virginia. Christiansburg taking on Floyd County in another good matchup down there. Stick and stay, please.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Hardee's Fan Cam, sponsored by Hardee's.
Taylor Crowder, J.D. McMichael, co-captain Renna Sexton, Jalen Walls, Jordan Willis, sophomores Julie Mazriegos.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is back.
All right, folks, these highlights are sponsored. This group of highlights are sponsored by the letter G, as in the defending Class 1 champs in Galax hosting Glenver, as both teams are known for deep playoff wins. The battle of two perennial powers facing off in Week 1, Glenver and Galax. First possession of the game, how about Brody Doyot? What is Brody Doyot going to do? He's going to hook up with Peyton, the real deal. These two, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz players of the week at one time last year. That's a touchdown. 7-0 Glenver. But then Galax, they're going to go 3 and out in their first possession. The second time, Glenver again moving around, and it's Doyot and Deal hooking up one more time for the touchdown. The combination was so cool there. But then one good play for Galax, but it was trouble there as Glenver, they go on and they knock off Galax tonight by the score of 34-0, the final there. The defending Class 2 state champs in the Radford Bobcats, they're in Wytheville to play the George Wythe Maroons. Radford looking good early. How about Luke Gaither going to Colton Garner Rollins, another law firm in Radford. That's going to be a touchdown. And the Radford Bobcats are up 7-0 to the second quarter. Radford still with the same lead, but George Wythe would go to that ground game. That's going to be Trey Rainey, and it was raining down there, by the way. Takes it to the outside. That's a touchdown. George Wythe takes the lead or ties it at 7. Right before the half, the scoring would continue for George Wythe. Shane Huff on the screen door to Trey Rainey. The Maroons get it done in the end zone, 14-7 at this point. George Wythe getting the win over Radford tonight by the score of 28-7. Meanwhile, heading over to Floyd County, highlighter night. Yes, the highlighters is there. Buffalo's taking on Christiansburg. Christiansburg, Tim Croner and Matt Herron leading the respective teams. Floyd County struck first on this pass. Sam Phillips to Philip Radford. That's a score. Up with that interception, Aiden Bain. And in Christiansburg's, Isaiah Cotto was looking for Jacob Evans. That play instead found him on the screen pass for the big gain. Not the last time you'd hear from Evans on this one. A few plays later, how about Cotto finishing the drive with a strike to Donovan Richardson, and Christiansburg takes the early lead. Then they would tie it up with the PAT, but wait, it's blocked. Floyd County's Joe March getting it done right there. Floyd County extends the lead to 9-6 after forcing safety, but the next possession, Christiansburg gets it in. Evans and Joplin powers his way in, 13-9 in the first half, and it was Christiansburg getting that 27-24 win over Floyd County. It is an annual tradition. Giles and Blacksburg meeting to kick off the season, but this edition at Bill Brown Stadium. Coming back in the first half, Blacksburg leading 21-6, but Giles isn't down yet, securing their second touchdown of the night, going for the 2-point conversion to pass to Trevor Ratcliffe. Can't make it there. Ratcliffe gets taken down by Luke Mann right then and there. But Blacksburg, they go on and get the win tonight, looking impressive, 32-12. Then another set of highlights to Kenneth Dobson Stadium, Pulaski County hosting Northside. Cougars coming in with their colors flying. Trevor Gallimore takes it into the zone, the Cougars' first touchdown, but he is not done quite yet. Then on the touchdown, the Cougars would get another one. Gallimore takes it in, making it 14-0, but the Cougars started strong, but it would be Northside getting the win over Pulaski County, 28-21.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by Wicked Diesel.
Well, this week's athlete simply just couldn't be stopped. Not only did he throw 3 touchdowns in the air, well, he also had 3 on the ground as well in his team's 56-0 shutout victory over Nansemond Suffolk last Friday. And guess what? He also threw for over 200 yards, and he's your player of the week.
Brock Miles, quarterback, North Cross School. My teammates played awesome. Awesome just to be out there with them. And we played them twice last year. First time with 15-13, and then the second with 35-0. So it was, like you said, they're a familiar opponent. So it was good to just go out there, have a game plan, and execute it.
What's it like having Coach Priest as your head coach?
It's been awesome. He's a great coach and pushes us every day. Wants each player to be the best player possible, but even more as a man, and developing us and teaching us the right things to do.
What's it like sharing the field with your dad?
It's really cool. I love it. I cherish and enjoy every moment of it. Me being real young, playing this game, he got me into it, and it's just awesome. When you put on this jersey and go out for this program, it's not like people don't have eyes on you. You're gonna have eyes, and winning past 2 state championships has been really exciting. Very few teams get to do that, and it's a real privilege to be out with my teammates, and that's everyone's goal.
It's time for Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Mock-Edited Play of the Night, sponsored by Mock-A-Doos.
Where our Mac-A-Did-It play tonight comes from Bogle Stadium. William Fleming's Kamari Steelman. He is going to do something pretty cool here on the opening kickoff, the first play of the season for the Colonels. And guess what Steelman does? He's going to steal his way down the sideline. The Steel Man, the man of steel for William Fleming. He's going to get the opening kickoff for the touchdown, and Kamari Steelman of William Fleming gets our first Mac-A-Did-It play of the night on the season.
It's time for Hardee's Friday Night Blitz in the Trenches, sponsored by the U.S. Army.
Well, guess what, folks? We have a new segment this year on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. It's called In the Trenches, as we spotlight the offensive and defensive lines of a team. And tonight's honor goes to William Fleming's offensive defensive lines. Now, the Fleming O-line, with more than helping out with 350 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. Then the William Fleming defensive line forced a fumble and a score and 2 pick sixes for touchdowns. Impressive display for the Colonels tonight as they get it done, as they won tonight 90-0.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, sponsored by Don Hudson Insurance.
All right, folks, for our Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, the reason why we're here is because this week one was a great battle at Cavalier Stadium, the Delville matchup between Lord Botetourt and EC Glass, the Hilltoppers. And last year in Lynchburg, it was the Toppers beating LB 14-7. Both teams looking for another strong season on the field. So let's go out to Daleville. 22 seconds to go after the coin flip in the first half. And we're going to see some good stuff here. How about Quentin Jones scores the first touchdown of the ball game with the successful 2-point conversion. It is Fleming taking an 8-0 lead. Then, meanwhile, in the third quarter, Jertavius Osborne up the sideline for EC Glass. He gets a touchdown with the 2-point conversion. They settle it in, and they get it in there, and it's going to be in there. Then, how about this? The field goal is time expired. It's going to be no good for LB. So we go into overtime, and in overtime, Will Picott, he's going to kick the game winner for EC Glass, and Glass gets it done in overtime. They defeat Lord Botetourt. These two teams playing close games tonight as they get the win by the score of 11-8. So the EC Glass Hilltoppers, they get it done. Meanwhile, guess what we have? We're going to have college football action today, as we have that right then and there. As, like I said, tomorrow, 3 local teams in action. The Virginia Tech Hokies taking on Vanderbilt as the Commodores. They'll host that game. That'll be a noon kickoff in Nashville. A lot of Hokies are making their way down there. And then also a couple of teams, again, in our area, the Liberty Flames. They're taking on Campbell. That game kicks off at high noon, or actually at 6 o'clock in the evening. So they'll have that right then and there. Of course, the Virginia Cavaliers, they open up their season against Richmond, as they will have a 6 o'clock game right then and there. So big time college football action coming your way right here. And of course, we have a lot of games tomorrow. A big one right here on WFXR High Noon. The Penn State Nittany Lions taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. That should be an awesome ball game, as both those teams playing well. But we had a lot of great action today. The William Fleming Colonels lighting up the scoreboard with 90 points. And how about a defensive struggle over Daleville, a classic between EC Glass and Lord Botetourt. The last second plays, the field goals, and all that. So EC Glass getting an 11-8 win in overtime over the Lord Botetourt Cavaliers. So both these teams are going to have a lot to say in their respective districts, as it's going to be a fun night of high school football. We're excited about it right here on WFXR because we got you covered with the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, as we're going to bring you the highlights, post-game reaction, all the good stuff, because that's how we do it right here and there. So it's going to be a fun time, and we will take you all the way through. Again, you can watch this game each and every night. The show will be at 10:30 on WFXR, WCW, and we're streaming all our show live on WFXRTV.com because we have all the good. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll be on WCW at 10:30, and then we will also have it all the way through starting at that time. So again, a great night of high school football. Again, we'll have this show momentarily posted right here on WFXRTV.com. We appreciate everyone. Want to thank the whole staff. Everyone here who had a hand in the show, we appreciate all your efforts. The shooters, everyone did a great job. So for the entire WFXR team, I'm Jermaine Farrell. I hope all of your teams are winners. Have a wonderful, blessed night and weekend, everybody.